She's a force of nature, a global phenomenon, an artist who has not only conquered the music world, but redefined it. From a young girl in Houston with a big dream to a cultural icon who commands stages worldwide, Beyoncé Knowles-Carter's journey is one of relentless ambition, incredible talent, and unwavering resilience. But behind the dazzling performances and the record-breaking success lies a story of struggle, sacrifice, and an unyielding determination to overcome every obstacle in her path. Today, we're diving deep into the life of Queen Bey, exploring her childhood, the early battles that shaped her, how she skyrocketed to fame, the complexities of her personal life, the controversies she's navigated, and the profound struggles that forged her into the legend she is today. This is the untold story of Beyoncé. Our story begins in Houston, Texas, where Beyoncé Knowles was born on September 4th, 1981. Her father, Matthew Knowles, a Xerox sales manager at the time, and her mother, Tina Knowles, a salon owner and seamstress, provided a home filled with love, ambition, and a burgeoning creative spirit. Little did they know, their firstborn was destined for greatness. Beyoncé wasn't alone in her creative household. Her younger sister, Solange, would also grow up to be a critically acclaimed artist in her own right, creating a unique dynamic of sibling support and, at times, perhaps an unspoken artistic rivalry that pushed them both. From a very young age, Beyoncé was a shy child. But when the music started, something transformed. She found her voice, quite literally, and her confidence through performing. Enrolled in dance classes, she quickly outshone her peers, her natural rhythm and stage presence undeniable even then. It was during a dance class when her instructor was humming a song that Beyoncé hit all the high notes perfectly. That was the moment, many say, that her potential as a vocalist truly began to shine. Her parents, particularly Matthew, recognized this spark. He saw not just a talented child, but a future star. Beyoncé began participating in local talent shows, and more often than not, she was taking home the top prize. These early victories were crucial, building her confidence and giving her a taste of the spotlight she would one day command. But the path to stardom is rarely smooth. The first significant taste of this reality came with the formation of her first group, initially called Girls' Time. Alongside her cousin Kelly Rowland, Latavia Roberson, and other young talents, Girls' Time was managed by Matthew Knowles, who eventually quit his job to dedicate himself fully to managing the group. This was a massive gamble for the family, placing immense pressure on young Beyoncé and her bandmates. They practiced relentlessly, Tina designing and sewing their costumes, Matthew booking gigs and pushing them to be perfect. Their big break, or so they thought, came with an appearance on the national talent show, Star Search, in 1993. They were young, energetic, and full of hope. They performed a hip-hop-infused routine, a departure from the more traditional R&B girl groups of the time. And then they lost to a rock band called Skeleton Crew. For young Beyoncé, who had poured her heart and soul into the performance, it was a crushing blow. She would later recall crying backstage, feeling like her dreams were over before they'd even begun. This early setback, however, became a pivotal learning experience. It fueled her determination, teaching her that talent alone wasn't enough. Resilience and an unshakable work ethic were just as crucial. Matthew Knowles, too, learned from this. He realized the group needed more development, a more polished sound, and a clearer identity. The years that followed were filled with intense training, vocal coaching, choreography rehearsals, and a constant drive for perfection. This period was formative, but also incredibly demanding for a young girl who was also trying to navigate school and the usual trials of adolescence. The pressure was immense, and the sacrifices were many. Playdates were replaced with rehearsals, school dances with local gigs. This was the crucible where Beyoncé's legendary discipline was forged. After several name changes and lineup shuffles, Girls' Time eventually evolved into Destiny's Child. With Beyoncé, Kelly Rowland, Latavia Roberson, and a new member, LaToya Luckett, the group finally landed a record deal with Columbia Records in 1997. Their self-titled debut album arrived in 1998, featuring their first hit, No 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 Part 2. It was a solid start, but it was their sophomore album, The Writings on the Wall, in 1999, that catapulted them into superstardom. With mega hits like Bills, 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 Say My Name, and Jumpin' Jumpin', Destiny's Child became a global phenomenon. Their songs were anthems of female empowerment, their harmonies were tight, and their coordinated outfits, often designed by Tina Knowles, were iconic. Beyoncé, as the lead vocalist and increasingly the focal point, was clearly emerging as a powerhouse. But with massive success came internal turmoil. By late 1999, LaToya Luckett and Latavia Roberson expressed dissatisfaction with Matthew Knowles' management, claiming he favored Beyoncé and Kelly and that they were not receiving their fair share of the group's earnings. The situation escalated quickly and controversially. In early 2000, LaToya and Latavia found themselves replaced in the Say My Name music video by two new members, Michelle Williams and Farrah Franklin. The original members claimed they were dismissed without warning. Lawsuits followed, creating a media storm and a period of significant stress and public scrutiny for Beyoncé. She was accused of being complicit in her bandmates' ousting, a narrative that pained her deeply, especially given her young age and the close bonds she had formed. This was a major struggle. Imagine being at the peak of your first wave of success, only to have it marred by public conflict and accusations. It was a harsh lesson in the business side of music and the complexities of group dynamics. Farrah Franklin's tenure was short-lived, and she departed after just a few months, leaving Destiny's Child as the iconic trio, Beyoncé, Kelly, and Michelle. This new lineup, however, proved to be incredibly resilient. They addressed the drama head-on with their next album, aptly titled Survivor in 2001. The title track itself was a defiant anthem, and the album spawned more hits like Independent Women Part 1 from the Charlie's Angels soundtrack and Bootylicious. Destiny's Child proved they were indeed survivors. Throughout this period, Beyoncé was not just the lead singer, she was increasingly involved in the songwriting and creative direction of the group. The pressure to maintain their success, navigate the internal and external dramas, and constantly innovate was immense. These early struggles, the legal battles, the public criticism, they all contributed to the steely resolve and fierce protectiveness Beyoncé would become known for. While Destiny's Child was still a force, the members began exploring solo projects. For Beyoncé, this wasn't just a side hustle, it was the beginning of an empire. In 2003, she released her debut solo album, Dangerously in Love. And the world was more than ready. The lead single, Crazy in Love, featuring her then-boyfriend, now-husband Jay-Z, was an absolute monster hit. The horns, the beat, Beyoncé's powerhouse vocals, and that unforgettable Uh-Oh dance. It was an instant classic. The album also featured hits like Baby Boy with Sean Paul and the soulful ballad Dangerously in Love too. It was a critical and commercial triumph, earning Beyoncé 5 Grammy Awards in a single night, tying a record for female artists at the time. This was a defining moment. Beyoncé had stepped out from the group and proven she was a superstar in her own right. She wasn't just a singer, she was an entertainer, a visionary. She also began to dip her toes into acting, with roles in Austin Powers in Goldmember and The Fighting Temptations. Her sophomore album, B-Day, released on her 25th birthday in 2006, continued her ascent. It was a more experimental and sonically diverse album, featuring the global smash Irreplaceable, a song that became an anthem for anyone needing to show someone the door. The album showcased her growth as an artist and her willingness to take creative risks. Then came 2008, a monumental year. She starred as Etta James in the film Cadillac Records, a role that earned her critical acclaim for her acting and her soul-stirring vocal performances. And in a move that would define a new era, she released her third solo album, I Am Sasha Fierce. This double album introduced the world to her alter ego, Sasha Fierce, the bold, fearless, and overtly confident performer that took over when Beyoncé stepped on stage. The I Am disc featured more introspective, ballad-driven tracks like If I Were a Boy and the timeless Halo, while the Sasha Fierce disc delivered dance floor anthems like the iconic Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It. The Single Ladies music video, with its instantly recognizable choreography, became a cultural phenomenon parodied and emulated worldwide. This era cemented Beyoncé's status as a global icon. She was selling out arenas, breaking records, and her influence was undeniable. But behind the Sasha Fierce persona was still Beyoncé, the hardworking, often private individual, navigating the immense pressures of her ever-expanding fame. While her career was exploding, Beyoncé's personal life was also evolving. She had been in a relationship with rapper and mogul Jay-Z, Sean Carter, since the early 2000s. They were a notoriously private couple, rarely speaking about their relationship in interviews, preferring to let their music and occasional public appearances tell their story. Their collaborations, from Crazy in Love to '03 Bonnie and Clyde, hinted at their deep connection. On April 4th, 2008, they secretly tied the knot in a private ceremony in New York. The world only found out later. This desire for privacy, in a world that demanded constant exposure, was a significant challenge. How do you maintain a sense of normalcy and protect your most intimate relationships when you're one of the most famous people on the planet? Beyoncé has spoken about the importance of having a partner who understood her world, her ambition, and the unique pressures she faced. Their union wasn't just a marriage. It was the formation of one of music's most powerful and influential partnerships. The 2010s marked another evolution for Beyoncé. She was no longer just a pop star. She was becoming a visionary businesswoman and a cultural force. In 2011, she made a significant and brave professional decision. She parted ways with her father, Matthew Knowles, as her manager. This was undoubtedly a difficult and emotionally charged move, severing a business relationship that had defined her entire career. She stated it was an amicable split, focused on her desire to take full control of her career and destiny. She launched her own management and entertainment company, Parkwood Entertainment, a move that signaled her intent to be the master of her own empire. This period also brought immense personal joy. In August 2011, during a performance at the MTV Video Music Awards, she unbuttoned her blazer and rubbed her stomach, announcing her pregnancy to the world in the most Beyoncé way possible, on her own terms, on a global stage. Blue Ivy Carter was born in January 2012, and motherhood added another dimension to Beyoncé's life and art. The challenges of balancing an all-consuming career with motherhood were immense, yet she seemed to handle it with grace and power. In 2013, she delivered one of the most electrifying Super Bowl halftime shows in history, a performance that temporarily blacked out the stadium, a moment that felt almost symbolic of her sheer power. Later that year, she did something unprecedented. With no prior announcement, no promotion, no warning, she dropped her self-titled visual album, Beyoncé, exclusively on iTunes. 14 new songs, each with its own music video. It was a revolutionary release strategy that changed the music industry overnight. The album was a raw, honest, and mature exploration of feminism, sexuality, love, and motherhood. Tracks like Drunken Love and Partition were bold and unapologetic, while Pretty Hurts tackled societal beauty standards. This album was a statement. Beyoncé was in control, not just of her music, but of how it was presented and consumed. It was a massive risk, but it paid off spectacularly, debuting at #1 and earning critical raves. However, even at these career highs, personal struggles and controversies were never far away. In May 2014, a shocking piece of security footage leaked to the public. It showed Beyoncé's sister Solange physically attacking Jay-Z in an elevator at a Met Gala after party, while Beyoncé stood by. The infamous elevator incident sparked a media frenzy and intense speculation about the state of Beyoncé and Jay-Z's marriage. What happened in that elevator? Why was Solange so upset? The family released a joint statement emphasizing their unity and love, but the incident cast a shadow. It was a rare crack in the carefully curated public image of the Knowles-Carter dynasty, a reminder that even global superstars face deeply personal and painful family issues. The struggle here was immense, navigating a very public scandal while trying to heal private wounds. This period of alleged marital strife seemed to fuel one of Beyoncé's most critically acclaimed and personal works, the 2016 visual album Lemonade. Another surprise release, Lemonade was a stunning, genre-bending exploration of betrayal, anger, grief, and ultimately, reconciliation and Black womanhood. Through its powerful lyrics and evocative visuals, Beyoncé appeared to address the rumors of infidelity head-on. Songs like Sorry, with the infamous line Becky with the good hair, Hold Up, and Don't Hurt Yourself were raw and visceral. Lemonade wasn't just an album, it was a cultural event. It sparked conversations about race, feminism, and the complexities of love and forgiveness. It was a deeply vulnerable work from an artist who had always been fiercely protective of her private life. This was Beyoncé turning her pain into art, her struggle into a source of strength and connection for millions. The Formation World Tour that followed was another triumph. Then, in February 2017, she announced she was pregnant again, this time with twins, via a now iconic Instagram post. Sir and Rumi Carter were born in June 2017. Beyoncé later revealed she suffered from toxemia during this pregnancy, a serious condition that required an emergency C-section, highlighting the physical struggles she endured even while maintaining her global brand. In 2018, Beyoncé made history again with her headlining performance at Coachella, affectionately dubbed Beychella. It was a breathtaking celebration of Black culture, featuring a marching band, intricate choreography, and guest appearances by Destiny's Child and Solange. The performance was so monumental, it was later released as the Netflix documentary Homecoming, which gave an intimate look at the grueling preparation and Beyoncé's unwavering commitment to her vision. She revealed she had a very difficult pregnancy and recovery and pushed herself to the limits to prepare for Coachella, battling physical and mental exhaustion. Later that year, she and Jay-Z released their joint album, Everything Is Love, as the Carters, seemingly signaling a new chapter of unity and healing in their relationship. Her creative output continued with The Lion King, The Gift in 2019, an album accompanying the Disney remake in which she voiced Nala, and its stunning 2020 visual counterpart, Black is King, a vibrant celebration of African culture and heritage. In 2022, Beyoncé once again reinvented herself with the release of Renaissance, an album dedicated to dance music, Black queer culture, and the joy of liberation. It was a critical and commercial success, earning her 4 more Grammy Awards, making her the most Grammy-awarded artist in history. The Renaissance World Tour became a global spectacle, a testament to her enduring appeal and unmatched showmanship. And just when we thought she couldn't surprise us anymore, in 2024 she dropped Cowboy Carter, Act 2 of her 3-act project that began with Renaissance. This album saw Beyoncé boldly stepping into the country music genre, a move that sparked widespread discussion about the Black roots of country music and her right to claim space within it. Singles like Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages showcased her versatility and her commitment to exploring diverse musical landscapes. This was another instance of Beyoncé facing a challenge, in this case, preconceived notions about genre and race, and tackling it head-on with her art. Throughout her incredible journey, the struggles Beyoncé has faced have been numerous and profound, often hidden beneath a veneer of perfection and control. From a young age, Beyoncé has operated under immense pressure to be flawless. This relentless pursuit of excellence, while a driver of her success, undoubtedly came at a personal cost, requiring immense sacrifice and discipline. Living life under a microscope means every decision, every perceived misstep, is analyzed and criticized. Maintaining a private life, especially for her children, has been an ongoing battle. Beyoncé has spoken about the challenges of being a Black woman in a predominantly white and male-dominated industry. She's had to fight harder for recognition, for creative control, and for her voice to be heard on her own terms. Her later work in particular has boldly addressed these themes. Like many working mothers, Beyoncé has navigated the immense challenge of balancing a demanding global career with raising 3 children. She's been open about the mom guilt and the effort it takes to be present for her family while also fulfilling her professional obligations. Beyoncé has shared her experience with miscarriages, a deeply personal pain that she channeled into her music. Her difficult pregnancy with the twins, involving toxemia and an emergency C-section, was a significant health struggle that she overcame with resilience. As alluded to in Lemonade, navigating marital difficulties in the public eye is an unimaginable struggle. The vulnerability she showed in addressing these themes resonated with millions, but it also meant laying bare her personal pain. In an industry that demands constant evolution, Beyoncé has consistently pushed herself to reinvent her sound, her visuals, and her message. This relentless drive to innovate, while key to her longevity, is an enormous creative pressure. From the early Destiny's Child lawsuits to managing her own sprawling Parkwood entertainment empire, Beyoncé has faced numerous business and legal hurdles, requiring shrewdness and resilience. Beyoncé's story is more than just a tale of fame and fortune. It's a testament to the power of dreams, the importance of hard work, and the courage to face adversity head-on and transform it into art. She has not just broken records, she has broken barriers, redefined genres, and empowered millions around the world, particularly Black women, to embrace their power, their beauty, and their voice. From the little girl singing in Houston to the global icon commanding the world's biggest stages, Beyoncé's journey has been one of constant evolution, profound struggle, and unparalleled triumph. She has taught us that success is not just about reaching the top, but about how many times you get back up after being knocked down. Her struggles have not defined her. They have refined her. Beyoncé is not just an entertainer. She is a visionary, a businesswoman, a mother, and a cultural architect whose impact will be felt for generations to come. Her legacy is one of resilience, innovation, and the unwavering belief in the power of her own voice. And one thing is for sure, she's not done yet. The Queen continues to reign. Thanks for watching. What part of Beyoncé's journey inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the lives of the icons who shape our world.